the notion of sealing the pass, because it's, conceptually a guard pass is simply separating someone's upper body from their lower body. That's really all a guard pass is, right? Like, if I can occupy this space, I've got good side mount, knee on belly, I'm winning. I'm in a dominant position. So that's really all I'm trying to do. But in the transition between defeating someone's legs and actually like sealing the side mount or the knee on belly, whatever you go to, there's all these things that the bottom guy can do, bridging, coming to an underhook, rolling a turtle, turning away, there's all this kind of stuff. So for that reason, it's very important that, again, we don't just think, oh, I'm doing a guard pass. These are discrete movements. Like every movement I've shown you so far can be used by itself in a different context. So for instance, the knocking the hands down thing, I don't have to push it here. I can step in and do this kind of guard pass. When I push his hands down, I can change direction. There's a lot of things you can do. This will just help you with any entry. Pushing someone out of base can be used by itself. Getting here can be used by itself. If I can't get his hips, I go to his ankles instead, and I work from here. If he hooks me, I can change that into a lever. If he puts his foot on my hip, I can leg drag. So no matter what type of passing you play, these ideas, these concepts will help you execute. So the next concept I want to give you is how to seal the guard pass. And for that reason, I want to deconstruct the underhook, because you'll see the underhook taught is kind of like, man, if you're passing the guard, you better underhook somebody, because that's the way to control the pass. And that's not wrong. It's just it's a little bit simple. So if I can here, the underhook, for those of you that haven't spent as much time thinking about this stuff as I have, is simply, so when you're passing, when we're trying to get to dominant position, we're looking for what's called rotational control. So we covered this in the last class I did with controlling the back. If I can keep you from turning into me or away from me, I have good rotational control. So the reason the underhook is good is if I'm in the knee tap position, I simply control that shoulder. I've got this hip and this shoulder, so I've got opposite corners, which means I've got rotational control. You can't turn away from me on that side. You can't turn into me on this side. How you achieve this is irrelevant. You just have to achieve it. So if I spend all my time looking for an underhook here, he's all shelled up, and even if I get kind of an underhook here, but it's still like pretty close, I got an underhook now, but I don't really have the ability to drive the map. So is my underhook worth anything? No, it's kind of like on the bottom, you taught the side mount escape where someone underhooks you. Well, if I'm here like this and he's underhooked me, is that going to help him at all? No, it's totally worthless. But guys will battle like crazy to get an underhook in this position and then lay there. So it's not that the underhook works or doesn't work. It's just conceptually all the underhook does is give you control of the opposite shoulder. Now, when we're passing, the formula I try to use when I teach at my academy is from day one, I'm trying to teach you to be black belts. So you don't do anything that, that works on white belts, and then in a couple of years, I'll show you how to pass a purple belt guard, or then I'll show you how to. We want to pay attention to the little details right from the beginning. And the little detail here is when we get here, good guys are going to have very tight structure and very good posture. So if I'm just trying to find an underhook here, it's probably not going to be there. So when that comes in, that breaks his posture. When we break someone's posture, we talked about spinal alignment before. Broken posture causes your structure to be weak. So if I'm trying to move your arm, but your spine is straight, man, it's tough. If I do this to you, then I can move your arm. So I'm never going to try to break your structure without breaking your posture or your base. So in this case, the base is gone. He doesn't have effective contact with the ground, but he's still got really good structure and he's still got some posture. So I don't attack the structure directly. I come in, I break his posture. Now the reason I still don't like going for the underhook here is because it's still tough for me to create the right profile on his elbow. I'm too high up. If I come here, especially if I've dominated the stand, which I can do either with my hand or with my knee, I now can come in and collectively catch. This performs the exact same function as the underhook without committing both my arms. So when I get to here, I'm going to look to take my middle finger or 3 fingers, wherever you can get, into his opposite armpit, and I'm going to rotate my shoulder into his neck or face, depending on how tough it is. Conventionally, when you pass with the underhook, you end up doing this, right? So you've occupied both of your hands, which is fine, if you want to seal the position and hold the joints and all that. But if I want to attack you, I can't do anything, both my hands are connected. So I get to here, I try to dominate his hand, I can just stomp it down a little bit. I reach up behind his head, I'm still in base with my rear foot, and I find his armpit. I simply peel back. The analogy I use is anyone who knows Spider-Man, that's what you're doing. Peeling him back with this motion. So I'm peeling back, that tightens this grip here with my shoulder and breaks his posture. Now, this foot comes out on about a 45-degree angle, and I rotate into this position with my right foot up. My right foot is up in the base. So this is my posting leg, this is my driving leg. To explain it in slightly greater detail, when you're holding side mount, basically you know what the problem guy's going to do, right? He's going to bridge. We all know that. There's one direction that he can bridge that might be effective. It's the top corner. Anytime I want to prevent an action, I need to, when he's generating force, he's going to create what's called force vector, which is the direction the force is going. I need to have a force directly opposing this force vector. An easy way to explain that is if I'm going to be on belly. A lot of people ask me this question when I teach you, where does my foot go? Does anyone know where the foot goes? And wherever it needs to go. There is no, you must have your foot here. If John bridges me this way, my foot goes there. If he pushes me back, my foot goes there. So your posts are, when you're in dominant position, serve a function of opposing the force vector. So here, I know he's going to try to bridge me to my top left corner. So if I just have my foot here, he bridges, go boom. So all I'm going to do is step this foot out, turn my way, go ahead and bridge. From this, you can launch all kinds of different attacks because your hand is free. You're not committed to the underhook. You have rotational control. You're crushing his face. This is a miserable type of side control. And then you can move into mount, where tons of back takes you can do off of here. Arm triangles, all kinds of going all day. But that's how we want to get there. We're not as concerned with the underhook. And I'm not saying it's wrong. Like, use the underhook if you can get it. But just be aware that at the high level, guys will jealously defend the underhook. And you should also jealously defend his crossface. But it's just harder knee cutting. It's easier for me to still defend the underhook than it is if he puts his head here, than for me to defend the crossface now. Because his head has created a barrier between my arm and my shoulder, I can't get my arm in here. But for something to create a barrier between this and between my elbow and my ribcage is very difficult because of the direction that I turned in. Does that make sense? Everyone's got to follow me? All right, so try to focus now on putting your head underneath the chin, controlling this so the guy can't block the crossface, and come in nice and deep, finger in the armpit, heel the guy back, drive in with the shoulder. When this is done correctly, and you're going to have to sort of take my word for this because I'm not going to demonstrate on everybody, okay? You will tap people with shoulder pressure here. You can choke guys right out with it if they don't keep their chin tucked in. All right? Everybody got it? Good.